Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. Pastor Brian here with another quick bite, living the Word. Today our word's going to come from Isaiah chapter 43, and this has been heavy upon my heart. Actually, we ran into this verse last night in our Bible studies, and I can't stop thinking about this, and I actually even thought about it throughout the night. Even had some dreams that applied to this passage and to this verse in particular, and so I just thought, well, you know what? Let's just talk about that this morning. So in Isaiah chapter 43, picking up at verse 16, and with me if you would, and then we're going to read all the way down through 19. We may stop along the way, but we just want to read verses 16 through 19 together. There's something so amazing in here, so a principle in here that is so important for us in our lives, even in this day and age in which we live, not just in our own personal lives, but in the world, the global scene we see, and in the national scenes we're seeing, even in our local things we have going on, and oftentimes even in our local body. But it says these words. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and the horse, the army and the power, and they shall lie down together, they shall not rise up, they are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old." Okay, so I'm going to pause here for just 1 second. So basically what he's saying here is, I want you to remember who I am. I want you to remember what I've already done. I want you to remember how much control I already have. I not only did I make the ways in the sea, the paths in the sea, which by the way they finally figured out there are literally paths in the sea, right? We talk about ocean currents, and we talk about things like that, but there's also there's like basically rivers in the ocean, and so it's amazing how he talks about this, and yet it took us years to discover that. But he says, I want you to remember, I am the God who did that. I'm also the God who made that path in the mighty waters, but also can make the horse and the chariot. I can make them to lie down and then never rise up again. I can basically end all battle, all army, all fights. I am that God. And then he says these words. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Now wait a minute here. He just told us these things, and now he's telling us not to remember these things? No. He's telling us just basically, in essence, the remember is not the point there. The remember is more of an idea of, don't dwell there. Don't think this is the only way that I work. That's what he's saying, because look what he says in verse 19. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Listen to what he's saying there. He's saying, listen, you might think there's not necessarily a path here. You might think that I can't do what I need to do, that somehow my plan is going to be thwarted because now I can't work the way I used to be able to work. It's like people in the church who are like, well, we can't share the gospel anymore because we can't go overseas, or we can't, because the borders are closed to this country, or whatever the case may be. We're stuck. No, we're not. God's never thwarted. God always can get the right thing done here. And he says there, I can do a new thing. I will do a new thing. And I will spring forth. And you'll see it. You'll know it. Why? Because I'm going to make a way through the wilderness. I'm going to make a river in the desert. See, we sometimes in our own humanity limit who our God is. And this is sad because God is so much more than what we think he is. And we sometimes in our own problems, in our own frustrations, in our own situations go, how is this ever going to work out? Because we cannot begin to see a way for this to work out, a way for this to come to conclusion for us, or to be for our good, for lack of better terms. But God says, listen, when you think there's no path, when you can't see a way, remember, I am the God who can create a new path. I can put a river in the desert if I want to put a river in the desert. So just wait and see. Trust me, and you'll see the good come from this. So no matter what you're up against today, no matter what you may come against today, no matter how you may feel like your back's against the wall and there is no answer, I want you to remember that we serve and love the God who created the paths and can create a new one again. Because that is who he is. He is not limited by our understanding. He is not limited by our abilities or our reasoning. He is a God who can do the new thing. So let's just wait and pray that he does. I hope this encourages you today. I love you. We love you. God loves you. And God's got this.